That beat was fire though. I love it. Hey.
Oh my goodness.
He could put Christ in it.
Yeah, right.
Jesus saved my soul. I love it.
Right.
with the choir in the background. Yeah.
Yo, what up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of That's Not Christian Podcast.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah.
What's propping?
Here we go.
Why dudes from the Bronx always gotta bring the gun sound effects?
Yo, New York is mad loud.
Yeah.
What's going on,
rappers.
fellas? How was y'all weekend?
Yo, weekend was good, but get to the topic, boy.
Yo,
He would jump right to it. Yo,
He ready to dive in.
yo,
this
forget
dude
your
acts like I've
weekend,
been
yo.
talking to him all week or something.
Yo, this is the Jesus is King
Right.
weekend.
He's like,
yeah. So that Jesus is King dropped Friday. By your man
New.
Kanye West.
your
We
man
were
was
waiting-
like, what was the soundtrack to your weekend? That's what I want to know.
Word.
Jesus is king.
Word. Closed on Sundays was for me.
people were waiting. People were waiting a while for this, right? Because it was like he was saying he was gonna drop, and then he didn't drop, and then it just dropped out of nowhere. Or was it planned? What was going on?
Well, it was supposed to drop, but I think he had to like remaster or remix. He has to finish up the mixing on like 3 songs. He had 3 more to go.
Oh,
yeah, I think that's what he tweeted.
Yeah, because even on Jimmy Kimmel, he said by midnight it'll be out. And obviously they recorded that a little earlier, but it wasn't out. So everybody was like, oh, we got Play It Again by Kanye. And then like, I don't know, afternoon, I don't know what time, Ant texted all of us. It was like maybe 11, 12.
Yeah, around 12. I just got a notification came on my phone talking about Jesus is King is out now. It's like, whoa.
Yo, who sent you that? Who sent you that? That was Tidal?
That was title, yeah.
Shouts
Send me
out to the
that.
title.
Shout out to Jay-Z.
Right? Immediate notification.
Pick up the podcast, Jay-Z. Jigga.
Word.
Oh,
Shout out to everybody in Brooklyn.
yeah.
Hey, East New York.
Brooklyn.
Old Brooklyn.
Yo,
Bro.
Not New Brooklyn.
so we got what? We got 11 songs.
Yeah.
The
It's 11?
yeah, 11. Well, not everything is a song.
But not the one is an intro and then an outro, right?
Yeah. So, but 11 songs considering the whole entire thing. You got 27 minutes
That's
pretty
super
short.
Very short.
EP.
for an album, more like an EP. Yeah,
Yeah.
still qualifies for a Grammy though, if thrown in that
Yo,
conversation.
so yeah, what do you think? You think he's gonna go for the gospel category, or you think he's gonna go for the hip hop category, man? So I heard some people saying like he should be put in the gospel category.
Yo, how is this gospel?
I mean, he got the, I don't know, the
We
choir.
got Fred Hammond.
He got a
You
choir.
one song. And you ain't got a choir.
Yo.
One song in a choir.
Bro, he got Kenny G though.
He got Kenny G. Let me tell you.
Dang. Ooh.
Yo, I
Yo.
haven't heard of Kenny G in like a minute, son.
Oh my
And
goodness.
on
I
the
couldn't
hip-hop
believe it.
joint, though?
Yeah. I read it online. I was like, Kenny G. I was like, no way. And then I go online and I Google it. I was like, oh my God, it really is him.
You
Yeah, I
didn't
thought it was a
realize when you
troll.
was listening?
No, I mean, I was like, yo, who's playing this sax? Like, it's good. And then when I realized that it was him, I was like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that was
Yo,
wild.
what was y'all favorite joints?
That joint for me.
In the beginning, it was closed on Sundays. And then the one.
Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A joint. That Chick-fil-A joint.
Yo, I ain't gonna front. Midway to the song, when that beat drop, that joint is hot. I like it.
Word.
Like he kind of switches it
So
all up.
so Jay, for you, it's closed on Sundays?
Closed on Sunday on Friday when it first dropped.
On Friday.
I was like listening to it over and over.
So now,
Then-
did you change your opinion?
Yeah. So today I was listening to it again and it's used this gospel. It's just, I can't get it's crazy.
Which one?
Use this gospel, the one with
Oh,
Kenny G.
uses gospel with
Yeah.
that's with the clips.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Kenny G.
And Kenny G, yeah.
So he brought
That's a
No
wild
Malice,
combination, man. That's
Right?
a wild.
Pusha
That's
T.
so wild.
and they brought their name back pretty much. That's crazy.
Crazy.
say
And then
that?
in the Sunday service, yesterday's Sunday service, he goes after the performance, whatever you want to call it. He's like, give it up for Kenny G. Everybody was out, and then he's like, and for the clips, they're coming back together in Jesus' name. I was like, what?
Wow.
Yo, it only took
Nuts.
Jesus to bring the clips back, yo.
Yo,
Grinding.
who had the best bars on that song?
I think it was No Malice for me.
I would say his brother.
I don't
Pusha
think
T?
so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Really?
I mean, I think he was spitting, but I think No Malice killed it.
I know he did. He did kill it.
Yo, I mean, listen,
Yo, Kenny G had the best bars.
Oh,
Well, Kenny G
yo,
was
like Kenny G did. Yeah.
Kenny G murdered the track.
You think Pusha? You think it was Pusha?
I say Pusha. Switch.
I would say
Switch.
Pusha as well.
See?
What?
Pusha just flowed better.
Yeah.
Huh?
Pusha's flow is a little more smoother than like I
mean,
feel
that's-
like No Malice was like I felt like No Malice was like how he usually is, like he's getting his point across and it don't matter how it sounds on the track. But his message was really meaty. I'm not gonna say like it was really good, but I feel like Pusha had the flow more, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, Pusha always got. Yo, you ain't paid a bill?
Oh man.
Yo, for those listening and not watching on YouTube, Switch's lights just went out right now.
It's just over here. Once I mentioned that, it's like the lights went out on me.
Dang.
Go ahead, y'all can keep rocking though. It should come back on soon.
Yeah. So what other tracks are you guys vibing to right now?
Salah was good. The intro.
Yeah.
That was tough.
That was a good way to come in with the album, man.
For sure.
And yeah, that joint. I like that joint, but I was really stuck on that "Use This Gospel" to me. But I mean that's because I just like to hear the bars. Like I like to hear the rapping. So
Closed on Sundays had good bars.
Closed on Sunday. That's what I'm saying. I like when he switched. When he switched up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's what it was for me. But that Barry Manilow line was crazy to me.
All right.
That's why I was like I was shocked that that even Switch he wasn't feeling that Switch.
Huh?
I said
I'm
even
back.
that Barry Manilow line caught in the trunk with Barry Manilow. In my arrogance, took the camera pose. Ooh.
Nah, for me, I don't know. I like Selah and I like Follow God.
Follow God.
Follow God because I feel like that was like a rap
Simple.
joint.
Oh,
Yeah.
But that was like his real rap joint. Like everything else was just like a whole production and then, a lot of effects. This one was more like he's just rapping.
Mm-hmm.
Tight, right? And then the Christ like,
Yeah, it sounded like his old, just like one of his old joints.
Yeah.
The water joint, I like that.
Yeah, water was good. I mean, to me, all the tracks were good.
So, all right. So let's get to this. Like we know, we've heard some albums. You know what I'm saying? We've heard some dope albums from CHH artists. What do y'all like in comparison? Because we've seen a lot of comments out there. What do y'all think as far as when we really compare what's this album to a CHH artist?
Well, I mean, the number one, the production, it's Kanye West, and I think some people kind of question the samples, like, it wasn't like real Kanye West, you know what I mean? For me, the thing that was like kind of stood out to me was the name and the album artwork. Like I thought the name is dope. I thought the artwork was kind of weak though. Like I think it could have been better.
Okay. I think I mean it was simple. What though? If you really look at his last couple albums, like it wasn't really like what. Matter of fact, that Yeezus album, it was no artwork. It was just a CD.
True.
Yeah.
Right. No, you're right. You're right.
I definitely I think there's one track I didn't like.
Which one?
How dare you?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Here come the lights. They're gonna go off again.
I think it was On God.
Nah.
Oh God.
That's the one that had like a weird, like it had like a Neptunes, but real old school kind of sound. I don't know.
Man, I might have to listen to it because I can't remember.
Nah, that one sound like a Ye track. That one sound like a old like
I think it was that one. I'm not
Kanye.
sure. Oh, but yo, I can't front. Ty Dolla $ign kills everything he gets on.
Yo, for real.
Yo, he's
just
the
like-
hottest in CHH right now.
Word, right? Yeah, they bring in Ty Dolla $ign for a CHH hit.
I was hoping to get Lecrae on this. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, he didn't even know who he was.
Yeah, he don't know who he is.
Oh,
Which is
word?
crazy. Yeah.
Like, he said that.
Yeah, he was like Lecrae. Who?
Yeah.
Yo,
Well,
what about the memes though, man? I mean, since we are the subject, what
There's
about the
memes on
memes?
that?
hold on.
Bad memes.
Missed this?
Before you continue, the interview with his pastor, the pastor that's now part of Sunday service,
Adam.
Yeah.
he was the one
Pastor
that said,
Adam?
yeah, he was the one that said in the interview that, because I think Kanye asked him or said to him he doesn't want to rap in the album, and then the pastor told him, was like, wait, why? And then he's like, because he believes
It's the devil's music.
it's the devil's music. And then Pastor Adam was like, wait, but you never heard of Lecrae, you never heard of Trip, Tadashi, like pretty much, 116ers. And I think he mentioned Bizarre, I don't remember. And then he was like, nope, who are they? You
Yeah.
know? So, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Yo,
crazy.
that's wild, and I guess it's all a matter of perspective, right? Because to us, it's like Lecrae and Bizzle and them. That's like the ceiling for CHH, right? Like those are the dudes who made it. Like they're really like making a living off of this, right?
Right.
And then you get Kanye. He's like, who's that? You know what I mean? Like he's never even heard of them. That's wild, man.
Yeah, and I think Jay, I was telling you that I was like, how he never heard of Lecrae, but I guess I could see how that, because if you're not really focused on that at all, and he already don't pay attention to some regular hip hop artists, like that dude is in his own world as it is.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised. It's like I mean, I think all of us got kids, right? Well, and I know you got teenagers. It's like when they talk about the latest rapper or something like that, you're like, who?
Yeah, I don't
Who's
know.
that? Who's that?
None of them little dudes, little
whoever.
Yeah.
Yo, that's so true, man. Like I get put on the music all the time, and you would expect me to have an ear of what's going on, and I'll be like, "Who's that?" And then I'll go search them, and they have mad followers, mad streams, and you're like, "I've never even heard of this dude," and it's just like,
Right.
yeah. And in today's day and age, it's easier to put out music than it was back in the day. We're talking about maybe a decade ago.
yeah. I'm pretty sure Kanye didn't even know there was like a big CHH community like that. Like he's probably now just tapping into it now that he's dropped the album, and I'm sure people are retweeting him, and he's like, "Oh, who's this person?"
Or maybe not. Maybe he's so focused on his own thing that he's just like, yeah, whatever.
Yo,
Yeah. Well, he got No Malice, so
but he was
No Malice is like tapped into CHH kind. He's kind of like that bridge.
You're right. Yeah.
He actually, I think No Matters was like, yo, I'll write for you if I need to, like, you know what I'm saying? Because he was like, yo, he ain't know where to start, where to turn.
Exactly.
So he was like,
Yeah.
yo,
I would like to know, like, what did No Malice say? Did he mention anything like his interaction or his encounter with Kanye?
Not in anything that I've heard.
anything.
Yeah.
Like no tweets, no posts, or anything like that?
Nah, I think everything was like under wraps.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a thing. So I guess
Maybe
ain't none of
Pusha-
us gonna see- Huh?
Maybe Pusha told him, "Hey, oh, my brother does this too. Kanye was like, oh, word? Like, yeah,
Right, like he ain't never know.
like y'all
Like
want to
he
get
put
on the
him on,
track
right?
together?
I mean, in Life of Pablo, I think Kirk was there. Kirk Franklin was with him in the studio, whatever. And that's when the whole thing. He's like, "Oh, this is gonna be a gospel album or whatever." When he tweeted that,
Was that supposed to be a gospel album?
that's what he tweeted at the time. He was like, "Oh, this is gonna be a gospel album now for Life of Pablo," and maybe content wise, it wasn't gospelish, but I guess like he said in his interviews, like it was sort of like a the journey on to, I guess, what we get now, which is Jesus is King.
Oh, okay.
And what about that title though? Like that's such a dope. I think it's such a dope name, and everybody couldn't pull it off. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know you guys saw this on like Twitter and stuff like that. Like a lot of people commented, like you wouldn't let nobody like Lecrae or Biz or anybody get away with an album called Jesus is King. A lot of people would say that it's corny or whatever. But I think it's brilliant, man, because you got people talking about Jesus is King. I went to my son's school today, right? And there was a kid there rocking a hoodie that said Jesus is King.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And I just thought it was so dope. You know what I mean? That people are actually having conversations. Matter of fact, I was in the GTHU chat, and one of the brothers in there was talking about he's in construction. And he was laying down cement, and one of the electricians like knows that he's Christian, and he came up to him and he was like, "Yo, what do you think about Kanye? You think he's really a believer? You think he's really a Christian?"
Wow.
You know what I mean? And that just opened up the conversation to talk about God, So in that aspect, like I think that is such a brilliant name for him to name his album that, his project that, you know what I mean? Because you go on Spotify, you go on Apple Music, you go on Tidal, wherever, you know what I mean? And Jesus is King is like top 5, top 10.
Yeah, his whole album is trending.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy. Right. It's crazy how he got people talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know this dude, he's just a Kanye fanatic. You know what I'm saying? He don't know nothing about church or nothing. And all he been doing is posting Jesus is King tracks.
Word. I gotta say, I got a dude as well. He's a big Kanye fan and just everything. Jesus is King merch, everything.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So if anything, he's got people talking.
I think what's interesting about this is like we probably would, I guess, from a creative perspective, we would expect CHH artists to be more creative with their titles or whatever, you know what I mean, or their music. And I just think that because it's fresh, I think for us, we're just more excited that we feel like Kanye is going all out for the Lord, as far as with this album, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know, it's like the Knicks drafting the first pick.
Man, get the Knicks out of here. Get the Knicks out of here.
Knicks getting Zion.
If we got Zion or someone that's just like, wow, like this is amazing. So we're not really judging him so much creatively. We're just like excited that, like this, this is someone of that's well known, that is seems to be going hard for the Lord. So I guess that's the perspective I take it from. Now, if Kanye continues to do music like this, will we be like, well, Kanye could have, you know what I mean? Maybe he could have rapped a little better. Maybe he could have did this or whatever it may be. I think maybe, you know what I mean?
Yo, I gotta. So to touch on what you just said, right? Like if he continues to do the same thing, which I doubt. I think it's only going to get better from here. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a good conversation with my cousin, right? My cousin in Cali, my little baby cousin. She was telling me she's kind of skeptical, which we've seen a lot of people being skeptical, and kind of like, I got one eye open on Kanye type of deal. Because not everybody want to believe that he's all in. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's bugged out. But anyway, we had this good conversation, man. We've been going back and forth all weekend on it. So what I was telling her was, I think everything because I think you guys seen this. For those that don't know, we are in the group chat, and one of the guys in the group chat had mentioned that, yo, is Jesus heavy? Like, he's saying Jesus too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't really a lot of content. It's just a lot of Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what y'all think about that.
You mean like they want theology bars? What you
Probably.
mean?
I mean, I don't know. You know, they might want some more topics, some more substance. So my thought on that was, you know, I think everybody's been there, right? You know, when they first saved, they just, you know, you got that zeal, that passion. You just want to knock on everybody's door and be like, yo, Jesus could save you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's all Jesus, Jesus. You know what I'm saying? You just finished reading Mark, Luke, John, you know what I'm saying? And you just ready to tell everything. And then I think you could tell from Ye, like, it's new to him. So at the moment, like, creative wise, he just shooting out from what he knows at the moment.
Right. And he shared that in one of his interviews too. I don't remember who it was, but he was talking about that. He was like, look, man, like, I don't know it all. Right. He's like, you know, I haven't read it all. You know what I mean? He's like, I'm not like this scholar or anything like that, you know? And I think it was in the same interview where he's talking about John 3:16, you know, which big boy. Maybe I don't remember what it was, but he emphasized that, like, look, man, like, I just know what God did in my life. You know what I mean? I know Jesus is king, and that was his agenda, man. And I think it's good for his audience, you know what I mean? Because I think a large part of his audience don't know the gospel. You know what I mean? So just to start there with John 3:16 is great. Everybody's familiar with that, except maybe Trump, right? But well, yeah, you saw what they asked him. This, no, I'm saying you saw it in the interview where they asked him what his favorite Bible verse was, and he could have named one.
Yeah, he was like,
he need to listen to the Kanye album.
He need to listen to Jesus King. Yo. I hope he sent them a copy with the blue hat.
Right? Did he say Trump 3:16 or something?
Right. So, but yeah, Jimmy, like, that's true, because that's what I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is as far as his album. So, you know, when you that early in the game, when you that, like, you still trying to find your place in it. You still trying to figure out what's right, what's wrong, what convictions you have, you know, because your convictions and my convictions ain't the same.
Right.
And so for him, when he actually realizes his place and what he can say and can't say, and you add that with his talent, going forward, his music is going to be out of here.
Yeah,
if he sticks to what he's doing.
Right. And speaking of that, like, I love that. Well, number one, I love that there wasn't any whoopie de scoop de poop verses in on the album. You know what I mean? But I love, like, you listen to the interviews, like, he's saying, like, he's telling people to abstain from getting high, abstain from having sex. You know what I mean? Like, premarital sex, like out of wedlock and stuff like that, man. Like, you know what I mean? He's setting an example to people. You know what I mean? Like, what is required of you, you know? And I just think it's so dope, because early on in your walk, when you come to Christ, like, you begin to clean out certain areas in your life. You know what I mean? And as you read and God reveals himself to you, like, you start feeling convicted about certain things that were normal to you. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think it's a beautiful thing where he's at. So I didn't expect any type of, like, theological bars. I wasn't expecting him to come in like Shaolin or anybody like that. You know, I knew it was going to be good music. To be honest, like, I haven't listened to every track, but the ones that I heard, man, are fire. Like, you know what I mean? I like them. I can listen to them in the car with the kids. I don't got to worry about nothing. There ain't no Kanye workout or none of that. You know what I mean? Like, it's like some legit music you could really listen to, man. And I love it.
You know what's interesting is that a lot of people are like you said, and our people are kind of like judging to see if his conversion is real, is it fake? But I'll say this, from what I've heard from him, there's a couple things that stand out. He said, you know what? I'm a babe in this thing. I'm a babe. You know what I mean? I don't know everything, you know? He also had mentioned because I only listened to the Zayn interview. Is it Zayn? That's the name of the gentleman.
Zane Lowe, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't listen to the Big Boy or the other ones, which I will check out after this. But he also mentioned just scenarios that we go through as Christians, you know what I'm saying? About that whole karma situation of, oh, I saw something that I wasn't supposed to see, or I did something that I wasn't supposed to do as a Christian. And now I feel like I'm being punished for it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of things that are relatable as a Christian. And I could understand where he's coming from. Or when he said, you know, when they ask you, what are you going to be doing for 20 years from now? He's like, I don't know what I'm going to be doing, you know? I have all these ideas. I want to be, you know, I want to be this Christian innovator, and I have a vision. But you know what? It's what God wants to do. And that was big to me, man. That to me was like super, super dope and super real. So kudos to Kanye, man. Let's continue to pray for him. And you know, what have y'all seen with like the backlash? And because I see some things.
Some people mad. They big mad.
Yeah.
Real mad.
They got some angry people out there, man.
Yo, man, this Kanye album exposed a lot of CHH artists, man. A
Mad
lot of Christians,
idols.
a lot of Christians. You know what I mean? Yeah, idols too, man. A lot of people like idolize this label CHH, man, and some people got to earn it. Like, yo, man, it's your brother in Christ. He professed Jesus' name. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? He professed his name. You know what I mean? He accepted him as a savior, man. You know what I mean? Like, you look at his body of work, you listen to the interviews, and you see that there's a change. When he talks about, this isn't like when Snoop dropped the gospel album, man. Like,
Right.
no, when you listen to Kanye talk about God, when you hear him talk about Jesus, man, it's real. Like, I feel that, man. Like, I it's genuine to me. And he's growing, like he's still learning. You know what I mean?
And he's consistent, which is the key. Because in all these interviews, he says the same like thing that he wants to say every single time.
Right.
You know?
Now, one thing that I've heard from somebody that we were talking, they said that they see that he still has mental health issues, and they don't know if this is just a phase that he's going through. Which, I mean, we can't. Like, I just said, well, you know.
But what, I mean.
Time would tell. I can't judge that for what it is.
He already got diagnosed, which he already said.
Yeah.
And he's obviously taking medication for it. So what more do you want?
They trying to make it seem like this is like one of his egos from being bipolar or something.
Right. They're trying to dismiss it. They're trying to dismiss it, man.
Yeah.
I get the cynicism. I get the skepticism with everybody. But the cynicism is what I don't agree with, you know?
Bars.
So being skeptical, there's nothing wrong with being skeptical.
I agree. I think being what's that?
Bible says test it, man. You know a tree by its fruit, right?
For sure.
Right. So, I mean, it's cool. But I don't like the way people are going about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they keep comparing him to past rappers, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I heard somebody mention, oh, remember Mace? Like, how do you compare this to Mace? Well, whatever Mace did, what does that have to do with Kanye? Like, my thing is, has anyone ever heard Mace preach? Like,
no.
I heard him preach before.
Yeah,
I never heard him preach.
I'm gonna say this: Mace seemed to be following the way for a long time, and then somewhere he just kind of like went astray. You know what I'm saying? I recently saw somebody on Facebook that actually said this in comparison to Kanye West. They said, you know, who are we to judge? We accept Kanye West as a brother in the Lord. They say, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I got saved because of Mace. I heard Mace preach. That's what they said. Mace preached, and I came to the Lord because of him. Now, what he deposited to me at that time, you know, to that person, they're saying, you know, it grew, and he's the man of God that he is today. But, you know, that's God used him as a vessel at the end of the day, you know.
At that time, right.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why I think people fail, that they think that because it's Kanye West, like God can't use him or use him for anything, you know, purposeful, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know, in this walk, I mean, Christ described it, you know what I'm saying? And I've even been through this, you know, like the different seeds that fall on soil, you know what I'm saying?
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, we just got to continue to pray for him, and hopefully he's getting discipled or around the right people and uplift him. But I'm excited. I'm hyped because Kanye's in my top 5, actually. I think he's had a lot of classic albums, and I think people don't overlook his albums.
They're about to get remade.
Yeah, and I think
that's crazy.
I think that he's he's a game changer in the way that he came into hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Came with that backpacker, common, but a little more lyrical, a little more swag. You know what I mean? And then just that musical feel. Like, you don't get too many artists that do that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, to the mainstream at least, because Cats was doing that already. But he definitely brought it to the forefront, especially coming from a label that wasn't doing that weren't backpackers, right? Like, everybody was spitting drug bars and gun bars,
right?
Time, and he was coming up. He came in the scene talking about, the Louis Vuitton Don. You know what I mean? Nobody was rapping like that.
Wow.
You know what's crazy? Another thing that he mentioned in one of the interviews, how he regretted making that song with Lil Pump because he denounced his faith in that song. And that track was recent. That's probably maybe a year ago.
Wow.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Oh, I didn't hear that one. But he said,
I don't blame you.
Yeah, you got to scrap that one. Just pull all your verses.
That beat was fire though. I love it. Hey.
Oh my goodness.
He could put Christ in it.
Yeah, right.
Jesus saved my soul. I love it.
Right.
with the choir in the background. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's crazy because I just really hope that, like you said, Switch, depending on where that seed is planted, you know what I'm saying, that he has the right people behind him, the right counsel, you know what I'm saying, and he doesn't feel like, or even let like some of that backlash that he might see kind of like deter him or make him feel a certain way, so he can stay on the path. Because, you know what I'm saying, like a lot of people, because I know he a sensitive dude already, and if he like gets too focused on what people are saying, like that can really, make him lose track, and it ain't nothing worse than having him slipping and people just waiting to say, "I told you so." You know what I'm saying?
The interview with his pastor now, I guess, he did mention how he was discipling Kanye. Kanye would ask questions, and he would be like, "We got to do this, so this is how you do that." And then he also did mention that there are other pastors around Kanye that he may disagree with, theologically, but
bang. Shots fired.
But they have Kanye's ear. And then he specifically mentioned pretty much what everybody, is pretty much praying about, which is to get around good counsel and, good Bible believing Christians and stuff like that to keep going.
I wonder if he was talking about Bieber's pastor.
Ooh.
I mean, they shot at him. They shot at him.
I heard recently that he was invited to go to Joel Osteen's church.
Yeah,
I saw that too.
That was a
TMZ
thing. I don't think he went, but
is that confirmed though that he was invited?
It was like a live. TMZ found Joel somewhere and they asked him, and he said, "Yeah, I'll invite him."
Yo, let me ask y'all this, right?
Who will say no though, right? TMZ pull up on you like, "Yo, will you let Kanye preach at or sing at your church?" Who's gonna say no?
Brothers, we have to come with that soft spoken voice
for a fee, for a donation. But yo,
honorarium.
Right. Let me ask y'all this. So I had a conversation again earlier with somebody else, right? So they said, this is what they said. They felt that Kanye shouldn't be allowed to do any of this. No Sunday services, go to any churches and perform in Sunday services, and that they need to be focused more on being discipled because in the Bible it states you have no business in a pulpit, basically, that you need to be discipled before you can preach and lead a ministry.
First of all, it's not a pulpit.
Right.
Second
not
of all,
preaching. He's not preaching.
He's not preaching. He may put some verses and put some thought behind it, but he ain't preaching.
Well,
Which
right.
is
Yeah, we
one
know
of the
that.
things that his pastor, Pastor Adam, said. He asked him, "Is this a church?" And then the pastor was like, "No, this is not church because you need elders, need a board, all this stuff,
Right.
like an organization. This is more of a I forgot the term he said. I'm gonna say concert type of vibe
He said
to
like
it.
a revival type.
Yeah, exactly, like a revival type thing, but definitely not a church. So
Right.
whoever you was talking to is wrong.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. I'm trying to.
Paul
Well,
speaks about that, about new converts and not putting them in leadership. And I think the reason for that is just they need to be tested their time. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know how this walk is, you know what I'm saying? And it's just, you have to be above, what's that word that they use in the Bible? Reapproach, is it?
Above reproach.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
above
Reproach, yeah.
reproach. So, of course, I don't think that Kanye should be, overseer or a minister. But if he wants to praise God in his music and perform and tell the world, and in the job that he does, remember, this is his job to be a
Right.
musician. You know what I'm saying? Just because he
Right.
comes to the Lord, maybe the Lord might take him away from it. Maybe he may not. Maybe he's going to use him through this avenue. You know what I mean? So let the man express himself in this form and do what he needs to do. You know what I mean? I don't think that he's trying to be an overseer or anything like that. Maybe that's his ambition. Maybe that's what he wants to do. And that's honorable too. You know what I mean? Anybody that comes in the Lord and wants to seek those kind of things is great, but right now he's got to be patient with that before he starts becoming in leadership,
Another thing that Kanye gets a lot of flack for is, our journey is private. His journey is for everybody to see.
Right. So including like, and that's one of the things that I didn't like about some of the tweets that I saw is like people were almost like, let's wait and see, almost like waiting to see him make a mistake or fall. You know what I mean? Like just wait so they could be like, I told you so, right?
Right.
And the sad part is, man, is like I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? And in this walk, I got saved in 99. And along the way, in those 20 years, man, I've made mistakes. I've sinned. I've fallen. You know what I mean? And it's challenge. It's sad that Kanye has to do that in a public light. You know what I mean? And wrestle with things and discover new things in the Bible. Maybe have convictions about things that he never had convictions before. I know, like me, when I first came to the faith, man, I was like mad religious. You know what I mean? Like mad religious.
Everyone.
I mean, but in retrospect now, like I see, like I had to do that to kind of like purge away a lot of the stuff that was in my life that wasn't glorifying God. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I'm gonna continue to pray for him, man, because it sucks for people who are in the limelight. You know what I mean? Like I could turn this joint off. I could delete my Instagram and everything else, you know what I mean? And live the life of a hermit, just, my Bible and that's it. But
He can't.
yeah, man, like paparazzis are on his property. You know what I mean? They sending out drones. They're at the airport. They're following him and his wife and the whole nine. Like it's wild, man. So we got to continue to pray for him.
That's
Right.
another thing, man. Like this dude he's famous. He's supposedly a billionaire, right? So
Self-proclaimed.
self-proclaimed
he got that
billionaire,
Billy.
he got that money, and
Praise the
he's
Lord.
coming from, despite us coming from different walks and Christ is our focus, we all coming from different points of view. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like I'm sure now he has to think about how he's going to deal with his finances going forward. How is he going to be a steward onto God with his finances? How is he going to be a steward onto God with his family? How's he going to be a steward with, you know what I'm saying? Because he's at that limelight, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's just different. And I think people need to understand that too. He's in a totally different, I mean, even though he's our brother and we're all equal, he's in a different space than we are, you know what I'm saying? In the physical sense. And we got to take that into consideration as well.
Yo, I think he getting recruited by churches for that tithes.
We need you to be a youth minister.
Right. He getting offers like, yo, you come to our church, man. You get that choir director position ASAP.
Right. Well, listen, man. While he's deciding what church he's going to join and where he's going to tithe, he can feel free to donate to That's Not Christian podcast. You know what I mean? Send us a bag, Kanye. You know what I mean?
Yo, we take Adidas swag bags.
Yo, no doubt.
We see those album sales. You know what I mean?
Right.
Don't send anything, Kanye. Don't send
them
anything.
Yeezy 316s. We want to rep the Lord and Yeezy together. So,
yeah, I mean,
I'm feeling them Holy Spirit hoodies, by the way.
Yo, my son went to he went to Sunday service yesterday, man. He said one of the hoodies was $175, bro.
Yeah, that was on the website. The blue one.
That's the cheapest one.
Bruh, he can't keep dancing with the stars.
Yo, my man, right?
Family starve.
Yeah, can't let the family starve.
Yo,
hey, get
did you
your
see
bag,
him
Kanye.
on Kimmel? Right, you saw him on Kimmel, right? I think that blue sweater he had on Kimmel was the sweater without the print.
Oh, the one he was wearing?
The hoodie, yeah, because it didn't have the string. It just had, because I remember Switch was like, yo, I can't wear that. It don't got no string on it.
Yeah.
But he came out with the blue hoodie.
With the string?
And then told the dude that won the lotto, was like, yo, you see me? I got this cheap hoodie on.
That was nuts.
Yeah. So I'm like, wait. You got the cheap hoodie on. They trying to sell to me for $170?
Yeah, some of them hoodies look like some gilded hoodies.
That joint a Russell hoodie.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that's one of the Walmart joints, man. He hiked the price.
Word, I'm telling you, yo.
It's anointed.
Hey.
Yo, they selling.
So now does everybody else have to raise their merch price now? Some new God Over Money shirts.
That ain't
going
happening.
Up to $150 now.
That ain't happening.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, them joints gonna be on sale, or Black Friday sale. Just gonna be 60% off.
Now a lot of these dudes do got expensive merch though, man.
They do.
The dude KB got his line. His joint's a little expensive, in my opinion. Who else? All them dudes, man. Pretty much all them rich dudes.
But for you're like, you have a certain limit that you're willing to spend, right? Like
there's a salary cap, bro. Yeah. There's a salary cap for me. I'm not falling into that, man. I used to be a slave to Polo and Nautica and all that. So like I'm not doing that no more.
You like, yo, if that hoodie ain't $25, that's it. Yo.
Now my man Ant be like, yeah, I got some extra to spend.
Right.
I bought a reach hoodie for like $45.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. Yeah. That ain't too bad. You get a.
But now that I think about it, I wouldn't have paid that if it was today.
Why? Because it don't say reach no more. That just say each.
Nah, it's still pretty good. It's good quality.
That jump pilling.
It's the rehab one.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's still good. It's good quality.
I like
throwback.
I like Grateful apparel. This stuff is fire.
Oh yeah, I got a Grateful shirt. Yeah.
Grateful
sweater, sorry.
Yo, Ray, send some hoodies.
Ray, stop playing. Yo,
you know what I like? You know what I like about his stuff? Like, obviously it's not merch. Like his stuff is like real fashion. You know what I'm saying?
It's like
it's
not just Jesus loves you. I like, you know what I like about him, man, is he shares his testimony. So it's like it's bigger than just like buy my t-shirt. You know what I mean? It's like he really shares his testimony. He encourages people. At least
that's what Kanye doing.
On his Instagram. Yeah, no doubt. Yo,
Kanye stan, man.
Right, this dude, yo. He got to relate everything back to Kanye, yo.
What would Kanye do?
Right.
Yo, but Ray recently, Grateful Apparel, they recently did something where they did like name your price, right? On their website. And it was like
they did
whatever price you had, you know, you could offer. It was like, I don't know if it was like a donation or a certain amount, but they were like,
oh, really? Is that why you selling all that Grateful apparel on your eBay?
On eBay,
account?
Yeah. Well, you know, nah, that's not true.
Yo, but no, Yeah, I remember that though. Switch. He was doing that for the summer. Just name your price and boom, you just was able to cop whatever you wanted. That was
dope.
under that little category. But yeah, man, the quality's good. He be having some good messages. Even I like what he just recently said about Kanye, man. Like, yo, he is excited for him. But he's a man, you know what I'm saying? And just like God could use any man for greatness. So, you know, like let's not be overexcited for one man and not the other. You know,
right?
All brothers in this,
right?
And we gotta accept everybody the same way, yo. So shout out to Ray for that.
Angels rejoicing, man, for everybody that come to Christ.
I'm always
man.
hype. I'm always hype when I hear somebody come to Christ, man.
But you extra hype right now because he's on your top 5.
Oh yeah, I mean, but that's because
he's on your top 5.
The most recent, he's on my top 5. Like, yeah, Kanye. Now we got to get Jay-Z.
I don't know. He's sitting up there pretty high, boy. them bafflements around the house. I don't know.
But yo, that's what's up.
Yeah, but Jay, you already ordered the whole sweatsuit, didn't you?
We got shut down. This dude talking about Jay, man.
I know, there goes title. Yo, Jay, I'm playing. I'm from Brooklyn too. Yo, stop playing.
East New York.
Yo, stop it. Yo, but Jay, when you getting your sweatsuit in December?
Maybe.
See, they already put the order in. It's like 8 to 12 week delivery.
Were you guys Kanye West?
What you mean?
Fans?
Wait. You mean Kanye? You bought a whole Kanye West sweatsuit,
bro?
Sweatsuit.
It was like $3 and change, $320.
What?
He lying, y'all. He lying.
Did you use your Apple credit card?
First of all,
or the Uber credit card.
First of all, I follow Dave Ramsey. Ain't no credit for me.
Oh, payola. Okay.
He said, I pay cash.
Were you guys Kanye West fans before Jesus is King?
What do you define a fan?
Like you liked his music?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. The first 3 albums I was rocking with.
Word.
After that, I really didn't listen to too much of him.
I think I stopped at that 8 when he was singing the 808s and hard. Like I thought.
I was done around that. Yeah, that's when I checked out.
Yeah, and then after that, I think he started going up the deep end. I couldn't listen no more, man.
What about like Twisted Dark Fantasy? That was pretty.
Nah,
that album wasn't bad.
Yeah,
it wasn't bad.
That album was fire to me.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I was watching the live stream, and one of the dudes that's the choir, remember? He goes, "Yo, what you guys want to listen to?" He's telling the audience, and somebody yells out, "Gold Digger." and then the dude goes, "Ain't no gold digging here." And then they start playing Jesus Walks.
we soul diggers now.
Right.
Yo,
it's crazy gold. Though, man. It's gold diggers, right?
No gold diggers. Yo, but it's crazy, man. It's crazy the talk that he's got going on with everybody, man. It's just at the same time, I thought the timing was interesting because like we just recently we just spoke about the whole Amber Geiger, the brother, and the Christians' reactions towards his forgiveness, and then we turn around and see like a lot of Christians, like ODing on Kanye. So it was like, yo, what's going on these days, man? Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we know scripture, we know what's going on in the times, but I'm just expecting a lot from us, man. Like, not being so judgmental and being so quick to jump on social media and airing everybody out, airing our brothers and sisters out. Like, man, what is going on, yo?
People just have their own agendas. People have idols that they don't realize, they got to tear down.
That's true.
Well, it's wild. It's wild though, but
yeah.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Now, I was gonna say, I just like the fact, man, that Jesus is being glorified, man. And like even with like Kanye's support of Trump, like that doesn't even like. that doesn't change the fact that Jesus is being glorified. Like nobody brings that into. Yeah, there's some critics that bring that into question and say that he's bipolar and he's crazy or whatever. But the majority of people, like, they don't care about that. None of that Trump stuff, man. You know what I mean? Like, they just want to hear the album. They're thinking about, who is Jesus? They're asking, like, whoever's Christian around them, like, yo, what do you think of this? Do you think it's real? You know what I mean? And it's allowing us to have that conversation, man. And that's why I'm kind of saddened by, like, some of the cats, like, that we know of in CHH that are kind of, like, questioning Kanye's motives, man. And it's like, I'm sorry that you didn't blow up, man. Like, I really am. I think you're dope. You know what I mean? I think you're dope. Not even no shade. Like, not even like that. You know what I mean? Because some of these dudes
give them shade.
Some of these dudes are like my favorite rappers. When I became a Christian, like, dudes that I really listened to. You know what I mean? But like your album, like if I mention, MC ABC, you know what I mean? Like, nobody's gonna know who he is. Kind of like, you were talking about Jay earlier, where Kanye didn't know who Lecrae was. You know what I mean? Like, so if I mention that to somebody, like, who? You know what I mean? But when you talk about Kanye West and this album, everybody knows who you're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, and everybody knows that he's glorifying Jesus, and I love that, man, because that's an opportunity to present the gospel to somebody.
Right.
Hey, Paul mentioned something like that, right? I guess it's something like to saying if people are preaching the gospel, whether it's out of conceit or selfishness.
Some indeed preach Christ from envy and rivalry, but others from goodwill. The latter will do it out of love, knowing that I am put here for the defense of the gospel.
Somebody went to Sunday
Christ
school.
Out of rivalry, not sincerely, but thinking to. Now I'm reading it, bro. Not sincerely, but thinking to afflict me in my imprisonment. What then? Only that in every way, whether in pretense or in truth, Christ is proclaimed, and in that I rejoice.
Shabba.
Philippians 1:15-18, man. Yeah, I mean, that's it, man. That's it. Like, Christ is, regardless of what you think Kanye West's motives are, if he's saved, if he's not, if he's gonna fall, if he's not gonna fall, whatever. Christ is being glorified and conversations are being had. You know what I mean? And the gospel is being proclaimed, man.
Facts.
Come on, let's go.
Facts.
Let's get it. One thing I will add, Osu, is I see a lot of shade towards the not so Christian artists or the not so CHH artists.
The rappers who are Christian.
Yeah.
You mean the ones that don't have the JPMs, the Jesus per minutes?
Yeah. I see a lot of shade towards them, like, now everybody wants to talk about Jesus now and this and that. And it's like, relax. Just take it easy, man. Take it easy.
Right. Everybody got their lane, man. Everybody got their lane.
Exactly.
Man, just be happy for dude, Joe. Be happy.
Just be happy for dude. Be happy for all the saints.
Lord.
All the saints across the world, man, because people are still getting saved till today, you heard?
That's real. That's
word
real.
up.
We can only imagine how many people just hit play on that album and just gave their life up right there, yo.
Facts.
Just imagine. So, we don't know.
I believe it, man. God is definitely doing the work, man. You know what I mean? I remember, quick testimony, man. So I got busted for petty crime like 20 years ago, right? And I was like thinking about like leaving the country, like going, you know what I mean, just running, you know what I mean? Like NORE, just running, you know? And every time I would have the conversation with my co-defendant, a car would drive by and I would hear at the time, this was like back in 99, so it was like what's his name? Kirk Franklin had that group, Trinity 5-7. He was working with them. And every time we had this conversation, bro, a car would drive by and that song would be playing. And that song was big on secular radio out here. And it was just wild because like it would minister to me, like to give me a peace, right? Because I would only be thinking about like running and not trusting in God. And I would get anxiety when I would think about like, because, you know, I was facing 5 to 7 years, you know what I mean? And on my first offense.
That ain't petty.
Nah, man. So I was seriously thinking about running, man. And I would get this anxiety, man. And every single time, like I would start to have the conversation about running or something like that, a car would drive by and would be bumping, you know what I mean? That song, gospel music, you know what I'm saying? And it would just bring a peace towards me, man. And God was glorified in that situation, man, because I came to Christ. You know what I mean? I was like, you know, on the fence about, you know, coming to the Lord and whatnot, man. So I think that this album is gonna do like something tremendous, you know what I mean? Because I know what music has done in my life, how it's inspired me even in times where like I didn't, you know, I struggle with reading my word or even just walking the walk, you know what I mean? And that music just encouraged me, you know, not just then, but even later in my walk, you know what I mean, with artists like Lecrae and whatnot. So I think this album right here, man, I think that it's going to inspire so many people and speak to so many souls, man. And I love it, man. I love it that people are having this conversation, you know, continue to have the conversation because people are going to listen to it. You know, there's a lot of people who still haven't listened to it. I was listening to the radio this morning, this rock station, and they were talking about Kanye West, you know, Kanye West, Jesus is King album on a rock station. They don't even play hip hop, you know, and they're kind of, you know, they're kind of like dissing him or whatever, not sure, quite, you know, kind of skeptical. Yo, but they talking about the album, man, and people listening, and you know what? People go home and they Google it, you know, they go to the Spotify, the Apple Music and all that. Let me hear this album. Let me see what he got to say, man.
Word.
Christ is being preached, man.
Word up. Amen to that.
Super encouraged.
Word. And speaking on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, we are on there officially.
Hey! We out here.
And for
we outside.
For the Android,
outside.
We on Google Podcasts as well, so you can definitely subscribe.
All your devices, no excuses.
No excuses now. We on there. So I think that's gonna be it for today's episode. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave us a review or leave us a voicemail if you got the Anchor app. We want to hear.
Shout out to Anchor.
Shout out to Anchor. We want to hear, you know, from our listeners, and maybe we'll feature you in an episode. So thank you everybody for listening, and go cop that Switch album.
Let it all.
Chick-fil-A.
Peace.
Yeah.